this going. Saturday live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It might take a minute for notifications to go out, and I will just give it a second, and hopefully everything's working. Maybe. Working. Hang in with me just for a second. GB, good to see you. Hillbilly Aquatic, good to see you. And I'm getting my chat up. Of course, I got an error, so I can't see my own video stream right now, but at least I got the chat going. I'm doing a Saturday live stream because I didn't do my normal Friday night live stream. I had a event with some friends last night, so it was during my live stream block. So I said I would go live this weekend, and this time right now it's just kind of a good time for me to go live. IHSP, good to see you. So not really prepared for any topic today. The Saturday, so it's not normal for me, but I figured I'd at least go live, talk to some of you guys, and see how your guys' week went and how your holiday weekend, I guess, is going, being that Saturday, and my beard's all messed up. Whatever, we're here. Nothing much going on here. I did watch the movie Cruella with my pups today, and it was actually a pretty good movie. And if you don't know, Cruella is Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians from forever ago, and they did the, I guess, live version of it. It's kind of like how Cruella begun her life almost, and like how she became her. But it was pretty good. IHSP says, I was wondering what happened last night. Yeah, I just had some buddies that wanted to hang out, and we were meeting up at like 9 o'clock. Or, well, actually before 9 o'clock. So, being that my live stream is normally 8:30 to 9:30, that didn't work. So, I was going originally try to go live at like 7:30 to 8:30. But I didn't want to step on any other YouTubers' toes that might be scheduled between 7 and 8 or 7:30 and 8:30. So I figured I would just put the live stream off until this weekend. And I honestly didn't know if it would be today, tomorrow, or Monday. But right now I kind of got some downtime, so I figured I would go live. Mrs. Millhead, good to see you. So yeah, one thing I guess that's fishy related I can just talk to you guys about is the outdoor pond. I did put some of my like 614 guppies. I don't have a name for them. Out in the outdoor pond a couple weeks ago, and I did see them yesterday. And while I was watching them yesterday, I noticed what I thought were fry, but they were big, swimming around. And I think what they are toad tadpoles. I have a lot of toads that have been hanging out around the pond, and I did a short video of them, or one of them, like a week ago. And I think these are tadpoles. So I did catch one out, and I put it in a specimen container inside, and I've been putting like fried food in there, and I'm just curious to see if it is a toad and what happens to it. Not recording like any video of it or doing any kind of progress because honestly I don't know what's going to come of it, but just something kind of different. IHSP said, hell, I ain't mad at you. You do have a life outside YouTube. Yeah, it's been a long time since I missed a Friday live stream, and it's good and bad. Like, I like doing Friday nights because it's like, all right, it's officially the start of my weekend, and I get to hang out with everybody. But now that summer's rolling around, Friday nights, there's a lot of stuff going on, whether it's fish-related stuff. That's when my local club does all their meetings with. Granted, this past year everything's been like online or very hit or miss on that stuff, but typically Friday nights are like club meetings and just local events outside of the fish world. So that's always a little tough to try to balance personal life with fish life and stuff like that. But if I do end up having to switch my live stream off of Friday, I will definitely make it up over the weekend. Mr. Melhead Prime, thanks SC Aquatics. You almost made me overflow my 125. Yeah, so that's something that I do a lot. I typically start doing water changes and I listen to a channel. Um, Whether if it's during the week, I might try to catch up on other YouTubers, either live streams or videos they released. And to be honest, I really don't watch that much of YouTube in general, whether it's fish related or not fish related. I'm typically doing something, but I have it always playing in the background. I'm one of those people that I like to have background noise. So I might play like the Aquarium Co-op if they do like a 2 hour live stream. I might have that playing and listening in here and there while I do water changes or if I'm doing laundry or cleaning, whatever it is. And then I have some non like fish related YouTube channels I follow. Chevy Fish, good to see you. Matt, good to see you. Um, IHSP said, I thought you might have been out of town with family or had technical difficulties. No, just family, person or not family, but friend, non YouTube related stuff last night. It was a good time. So yeah. Um, what am I thinking of? So all right, let's start with 614 tabs. They've been selling really well, so that's super awesome. Thank you guys for buying them. I don't have labels yet. I need to get Photoshop again so that way I can design more labels because I realize the fonts and stuff I've been using for the other labels are in Photoshop, and I don't have Photoshop right now. So I need to re-download that. As far as videos on the channel, it's been many months since I've uploaded something that's not a live stream. And I was going through my phone, and I have a lot of content that I've recorded. It just hasn't been edited and transferred to the computer. I got this new computer now, which should help me render stuff quicker. The only thing holding me back right now is I'm waiting on a hard drive to come. So you're probably wondering like, well, your computer's running like hard drive. It doesn't have a hard drive right now. It's running strictly off this like memory stick. Not to get like technical into computers, but there's like a memory stick that runs the computer right now. And mass storage, which would be on a hard drive, is not there. I checked, the hard drive is supposed to be here Tuesday. So come Tuesday, I can plug my phone into this thing, get all those videos off, and start editing. I have like import videos of fish over the past, I don't know how long now, 3 months, 4 months of bringing fish in, plants. What else? I don't know. There's quite a few videos, and I had to actually go through my phone and see everything that I've recorded because I honestly don't even remember all this stuff now. But I do have some videos. There's going to be some smaller videos, and I'm trying to keep them relatively small. But every time I say that, it ends up being like a 10 to 15 minute video. But either way, I do want to get those videos out and hopefully stagger them, not release them all like in the same day, but maybe one a week or something. But that's coming. Mike, is it Ruse from South Africa? Welcome. Florida Fish Rescue, good to see you. IHSP says I'm going to get some of them, hoping it helps my hairgrass establish better than it seems to be doing currently. So yeah, with hairgrass, I have it growing. Technically, it's growing really well in one of my fry rack tanks, but the problem is it's a really high, it's more extreme high light setup, so it grows very thin and very tiny. It's like extra dwarf hairgrass. So I actually have some uh, in pots in my what was the actual wattle tank, which is low light. So I'm trying to see how it does under low light, and that tank's empty. And we'll actually walk out there, and I'll show you what's going on with it right now. Because I want to see if the lower light makes the dwarf hairgrass kind of be more leggy. Here's the 101 Dalmatians right here. But so yeah, just kind of playing around with the different lighting on it, because I know under extreme light it grows really well, but it grows so tiny that it's almost not worth it. It's not dense. It shoots out to runners and just kind of sparse. But Mrs. Melhead, do you recall ever having issues with Freya becoming aggressive towards Pickle? We had to separate them for injuries. No, actually, I had no issues with them at all. Um, to be honest, not even once that I can ever recall seeing them. Not to say that they weren't aggressive when I wasn't around, but I never had like injuries or anything like that. They always kind of just did their thing. Matt says, nope, he just ditched us. Matt, did you see the thumbnail to this live stream? So the thumbnail, hopefully it worked. It says Squirrel Aquatics. Matt actually designed that. All right, so try and think what was I talking about? I have no idea. We'll go look at the old axolotl tank. There's no fish in it right now. I've been um, fertilizing the tank and monitoring the nitrates. I'm keeping the nitrates actually pretty low. They're at 20 parts per million in that tank. And then as far as website, I did put a new item, which is something I don't know why I never did it before, but it's duckweed on the website. I never sold duckweed. I have plenty of it. And after listening to my buddy Rob at Flip Aquatics, his live stream, he said he sells quite a bit of duckweed, and so I was like, well, I got it. I might as well sell it. So or make it an option if somebody is trying to either buy it for their fish room, because duckweed is a good nitrate remover, but it does. I think it's a messy plant because it spreads through your fish room really quickly, but does a great job at removing nitrates. But it's also a great feed for goldfish or koi, stuff like that. Um, and I've seen people say that they actually take duckweed and grind it up and make a fish food out of it, which is something I never thought about doing. Which, maybe I'll look into that, and maybe I can make like some shrimp pellets out of it, or even for my goldfish that I have. But yeah. Sherry Fish says, just letting y'all know that I'm fighting Wi-Fi issues. Wi-Fi can be a jerk sometimes, can it? Mike said, well pronounced. Checked out your Corridors post recently. Hope they're doing well. Brine shrimp container as a tumbler. Wise. Oh, that's if you're talking about the Barbados Corys, I can show you the. I think I only have one or two of the fry have made it, months later, um, but they're doing well. They look just like their parents, just smaller. Um, Chevy Fish says Wi-Fi is winning, but I'm not giving up. HSP said, I bought a pack of tissue culture hair grass, split into 8 pieces, and planted them in a 50-gallon tub, deep gravel age, about 1.5 months ago. Only 2 of the pieces seem to be doing great. Um, yeah, so I've only ever bought it through like potted plants, which is farm raised down in Florida, which they come in immerse grown, and I have chat off, but screen is buffering. It's been happening most of the week. Yeah, so I know last week's live stream and this live stream, I can't see my own video. It just says an error has occurred, which I typically like seeing my video so that way I can see what's in focus or not in focus, but it's not working. And whenever I refresh the stream, it plays an ad, but then it doesn't show my video. So I don't know what's going on with that. An error has occurred. It just says tap to retry. Yeah. Anyways, at least I can see the chat. The Barbados. So the Barbados are going to go into the axolotl tank, and I'm going to come up with a name. Well, I guess once the Barbados are in that tank, then I'll just call it the Barbados tank. But my whole plan, as soon as I knew I was getting rid of the axolotls, was to put the Barbados in there because I knew they would love the bigger tank, and it's also a non-heated tank, which is great for Barbados. But right now I'm just trying to get the plants to really establish before I put the corydoras in there and have them, you know, trample the dwarf Sagittaria and stuff that's in there. IHSP says, Chevy, check your playback quality. A few streams have come over automatically at 720 instead of 360 or 480 as usual. I don't know if you have Verizon, but same thing's been happening to us here. I usually have to reset my router like once a day or so. That sucks. I used to have those issues back in the day, but luckily, knock on wood, my current internet provider, which I don't know if it's available where you guys are, but it's called WOW, Wide Open West. I've had them for a few years now, and they've been really, really good. Pretty much every time I have an internet issue, it's been my own demise, basically. Every time like I lose internet, it's because somehow the router came unplugged from the power, because it's in my fish room, and I know it's bad, but it sits on the floor next to my water barrel, and whenever I drag the water hose out, it might hit the router and like unplug it. But yeah, other than that, I've had really good luck. I do pay quite a bit for it, because I pay for like the fastest service that they have available in my neighborhood, because that helps with uploading videos. Because it's not really the download speed I need; it's the upload speed. So to get the really fast upload speed, I had to get like the really fast download. All right, well, let's go take a walk out to the Barbados tank. Oh. And I'll show you guys what it currently looks like, which is nothing really fancy or cool right now. And it does gurgle because of that breeder box. All right, let me flip you. Okay, so this used to be the axolotl tank, and this is now going to be the Barbados. There's that dwarf hairgrass pots I told you I put in here. You know, they come in really tall, but this is immerse grown. So they're in here so they can convert, and I want to see how big they get once they convert, because under highlight, it's like that tall. But there's the dwarf Sagittaria, kind of different spots. The Nubius is coming back. It was getting beat up. You can see some new growth down here, and then this end, you can see it's growing out. And it's actually growing out and over and shooting runners down to the substrate. But it seems to be doing okay. The crypt is doing really well, and I added ram's horns. I never had snails in here with the axolotls because I was fearing that the axolotls would try to eat the ram's horns and then choke on them. But I did put some ram's horns in here to start cleaning up the Anubias leaves. And if you can look, it's lighter green right there and darker green there. That's them cleaning these up, because with the axolotls, these leaves got really, really thick, basically algae on them. That's why they're so dark. But the ram's horns are cleaning them up slowly but surely. And there is one nearite in here. So I took the nearite out of my 25-gallon guppy tank, because I do want to break that tank down and actually sell it here eventually. But it's currently got the pea puffer in it. But the other thing is, when I transported the axolotls up to the metalheads, I took the sponge filter out of here, so that way they had a cycle sponge filter in the bucket with them. So even though they'd be fine in the bucket, I just wanted extra insurance and had a cycled sponge filter in there. Well, when I took that sponge filter out, it dropped a ton of mulm in this tank. And I don't know if it was on previous live streams, but the sand was covered in mulm. And these ram's horns have basically eaten all the mulm and detritus, and it's now just basically sand. So they did a really good job of cleaning up this tank, and that's why I love having snails. They do an extremely good job. But I'm just kind of letting this tank do its thing, and I am adding nitrates to it via the fertilizer, just to help give these plants some boost and get them going. And there's some duckweed on top. And I specifically kept duckweed in this tank, which is weird to say that I added duckweed to a tank, but for nitrates for the axolotls. They are big animals, and with big animals, you have big waste. So I added duckweed to help with nitrates and also help shade the axolotls because axolotls don't like bright light. So that's why there's a clip-on light and duckweed. The duckweed helps kind of shade everything, but I'll probably eventually take the duckweed out of this tank and get a different light for this. But I really enjoy this tank a lot. And I can't wait to get some fish in here. So I am going to put the barbatus in here, which they typically stay on the bottom. They will be on top of the driftwood, but I do plan on putting some fish in here. And since I'm not running a heater, and my house stays relatively cool, I'm thinking about putting some like white cloud minnows in here. And I noticed that one of the wholesalers has the white, I think they're called white blizzards, which is just a variant of the white cloud minnow. But I think they're called like white blizzards. I'm thinking about getting some of those to put in here and enjoy this tank out here in the family room. But if anybody's asking me questions, when I'm on my phone like this, I don't really see them that easily. So when I go back into the computer room, I will answer them. So I'll show you the dwarf hairgrass in the frag rack. Let's flip you around. So I know it's a little dirty, but that's what the dwarf hairgrass looks like under extreme high light. And there's also, let me see if I can see them without doing my normal tricks. The barbatus babies are in this tank, and they blend in so well with the sand. And the only way I can usually find them is if I tap on the glass to kind of scare them out of where they're. Charlotte. Sorry. Oh, there he is. See him? Hang on. Dogs are going crazy. That's because there's a dog out front. They're going to keep barking until the dog walks away, so I'm going to move back to the office until the dogs go away. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sure that was loud. And it's still loud. Whoa, chair's falling. All right, hang on. I know, my forehead. All right. Let me check out the chat while I'm back in here. See where we're at. Mrs. Mothead said, axolotls are doofy enough. They definitely try. The plants we got from you have survived the axolotls so far. Yeah, that's why I like the heavier duty plants like Anubias. And Crypts are actually pretty hardy, I think, when it comes to axolotls. But Anubias, I think, are the best for any kind of fish or animal that's going to be a little bit rough. IHSP says, I want to try duckweed, but I don't want it in every tank. Though just about every fish I have, I think, would eat it. So, if you spend a lot of time with your tanks, it's not bad to keep it from spreading tanks. Obviously, it spreads tanks by if you're, got your arm in one tank, you get like one speck of duckweed on your arm, then you put your arm in a different tank. That's how you transfer it, and or like fish nets. If you're catching fish, one tank, move them to another. That's the way that they transfer. When I have 50-something tanks, it somehow gets on my arm or on a fish net, and I don't notice it. Gets into a tank, and that one little piece might sit in there for a couple weeks, and then like I don't notice it, or I'm like, oh, I'll get it later. And the problem is, I'm like, I'll get it later, and then next thing I know, I have a tank full of it. So if you spend a decent amount of time with your tanks, then it's not that big of an issue. Or if you have a smaller amount of tanks, but it spreads, and it's a really good plant. It does a really good job at removing nitrates, and it's a good food source, especially for things like goldfish, and I know some cichlids will eat it. But it just becomes a pain in the butt, to be honest. Shaggyfish says, I need to do something. I can't email, get emails, or make calls either. Matt F says, I love/hate my duckweed. That's how I am. I love it in the fish production part of the fish room, like, because it helps keep the water clean. But as far as like display tank goes, it can be messy. Put duckweed in a net breeder, jail that duckweed. Oh man, my chat just jumped. Hang on. Yeah, Mrs. Millhead said I'm going looking to get duckweed for the axolotls. I don't even remember. I'm jumping on my website real quick. So I hate to say that I put it on the website and they haven't not have gone on. I think I have to take a picture of it. Yeah, it's on the website. There's just no picture. I just gotta go out and take a picture of it. I have it listed for $3.99, and basically I'll give you a ton of it for $3.99 if anybody's interested. It's kind of like the pearlweed. Pearlweed I give a decent amount. Basically the standard, like if you go to an aquarium store, is a 3-inch, or maybe it's even smaller, but I think it's a 3-inch by 3-inch square mesh. So this is, I think, 6 by 6-inch, but this is what the farms will do, is they'll put moss on these stainless steel mesh, and then they grow the moss, and then they'll cut this. So this might be 4 portions, and then that's what they ship to the fish store. Sometimes they'll put the moss in here and then fold this over on itself, and it'll be like a clamp, and then that's what you buy from like a local fish store. And it depends on your area and the pricing. It could be anywhere from $6 to $10 for moss on mesh, and that's how I started with my Christmas moss. It started off on a piece of mesh, and I put it in one tank, and then just kind of took off from there. And now I use it pretty much everywhere. Okay. So I do want to update some of the pictures, which I might do that after the live stream, of some of these plants. Get some of these like generic pictures off of the website that came from like the wholesalers. But anyways, enough of that. Let me get back in the chat. At SC, are you ordering any more Sarah catfish chips, 13 ounce, or are you squirreling? They've actually been out of stock, and I can actually check them right now. The small ones, do I have those? I have the small jars of it, but I don't have the big jars right now. The big jars were out. And then the same wholesaler is who I get my Fluval lights from, and Von Yinzer is actually waiting on a Fluval 3.0. So I need to actually check those. I don't think it came in because I think I have the wholesaler set to email me when they come in stock, and I haven't gotten any emails. Nope, the Fluval light's not in stock. And with shipping, when I have to pay shipping on those Fluval lights, that's when I do like the food order. And so I'm just kind of really waiting on the Fluval light to come in stock. And I want to check the catfish chips right now. And actually, the catfish chips are in stock now. So if you're interested, and if you haven't already, go on the website and make sure you sign up for the notifications. So that way, if I order these catfish chips this week and they come in stock, it will automatically email you and let you know they're available. And I checked yesterday or the day before, I didn't see anybody looking for catfish chips. I'm going to recheck it right now. Yeah, so no one signed up for the catfish chips, so that's a good way to help me know to like prioritize orders. So I know right now somebody is looking for like Northfin Krill Pro in the 2 millimeters. So that's on my list to order as soon as I order with that company again. But that's with any product, go to the website and click notify me. and that helps me out a ton. And then it should just automatically email you. Thanks for the update. Will do. I'm on it. Appreciate it. No problem. I appreciate you guys doing that because it does help me a ton. Because instead of like you guys emailing me like, hey, like when do you think you'll get this back? I can see that list like, all right, somebody wants this, 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 and then I know like, all right, let me get those in. In order for people to see you more easily, you must type in the @ before their chat name, which must be spelled in space exactly as listed. Yeah, if you guys are on desktop, as soon as you type the @ symbol in the first couple letters of their name, it automatically pulls it up. You can just click their name. If you're on mobile, you have to actually type out their name as it is in the chat. And like Shaggy Fish said, it's got to be like the correct spacing and everything. It's kind of a pain. I wish the mobile had the autofill, because when I'm like watching OFR, I'm usually on my cell phone, doing things right after work on Fridays, so it's hard for me to try to respond to people. Matt said he's got Vienna Guppy Fry, and I do think I added Vienna Guppies to the website. I don't know if anybody was signed up for that email alert. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I added just a couple pairs because they're still kind of thin on females to male ratios, but this tank does have fry in it now. So that was one of the goals, was to get the rainbows out, put some Viennas in here, and have this big volume of water for them to breed, and there is fry in this tank. I don't know how many fry. Not a ton yet. Not a ton. It's definitely only one female. But the females that were in this tank aren't like jumbos. Well, there's... Alright, I'm about to be a liar. I was going to say they weren't jumbo size, but there's one female in this tank that's put on substantial size since I put her in here. So they're doing good. But there's a couple males I need to call out of the line. There's one that's got this really bright orange coloring to him. He reminds me of the Parkinsoni. It's like super bright orange, but it's not very patterned. So he looks awesome, but he's not really that Vienna pattern. So I need to call those out. And there's a couple females that I need to call out as well that have some black tails going on. And it seems like the Vienna Guppy females are pretty much all plain. But I'm getting some with black tails, which part of me is like, man, like, keep those black tails. Maybe they will do some cool pattern with the males, but I don't want them to wash out the Vienna pattern. So the females need to come out, and with these calls, since I know that they're carrying some awesome genetics, I'll probably put them out in the pond and see what they breed out there with the 614 fish. But the females, they're probably 5 times the size of the males in there. They're getting big. But if anybody's been trying to get Vienna Guppies, and I know I had a list of people that have emailed me, and I kind of messed up. I went through and I had like 5,000 emails in my inbox, and it was just like a pain trying to find stuff, and I just deleted the whole inbox to start fresh. And then I realized there had been emails of people asking about fish and stuff from a long time ago, and I've lost those emails, which that's my fault. But if anybody's been trying to get fish, they are available. Yes. So I'll tell you what's on the website right now. There's 2 pairs available in 2 reverse trios. The reverse trios are 2 males to 1 female. So there's 2 of those sets available, and then there's 2 just pairs available. So if anybody's been looking for them, those are what's available right now. If you saw the community post, My local wholesaler has Hillstream loaches in stock. They actually might be out of stock by now. And I've been thinking about getting some Hillstream loaches, not for my personal tanks, just to sell online. So we'll see. That might be something I pick up this week. And I kind of want to get eyes on them and make sure that they're good quality and everything first. But oh man, Chevy Fish. I'm terrible at pronouncing these. Is it Zenatoka? Had fried the other day. So happy. That's awesome. I'm pretty sure. Let me Google this. I know it's a Goodyear. San Marcos, yes. So a local guy breeds these, and I was thinking about bringing these on to sell. And it's just like I'm glad that they're a common name of them, San Marcos, because I cannot pronounce scientific names for the life of me. But that's a good looking fish. And if I believe they're from Mexico. I was hopping on Greg Sage's website to see. Wait, the name changed. Oh, okay. So it's still San Marcos, but the scientific name changed in 2016. Cool. All right, let me get back to the chat. Metalhead said, yeah, mobile autofill would be great. I'm telling you, it would. Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics, good to see you. Courtney, good to see you. Courtney says, I'm outside grilling filet mignon. Just a water change on my 300-gallon stock pond. Hope everybody's having a lovely Memorial Day weekend. That sounds amazing. I feel like maybe I should be grilling out. So it's super cold here. It was 80s. No, 90s this past week. And I think right now it's like 60. High is 66 tomorrow. What's it today? Oh, so right now it's 48 degrees. So we went from 90s to 48. So that's been a rough weekend. But tomorrow's high 66. It's still chilly. Monday is 74, which isn't 74 is like my weather. 74, 78, like I'm cool with that. But it looks like this coming week's going to be cool, but the following week it shoots back up. I did do a large fish order to Jess Shrimp Granny this week. I sent her basically all my diamond tetras. She bought a bunch of diamond tetras, and I was like, you know what? I only have so many more. I'm going to just send you all these extras. And I made sure she had the room for it before I did. And I individually bagged them all. And she bought some other stuff too. But it was like 95, I think, on the route to her house. So I ended up having to use ice packs. So I did use ice packs. I did a video of all this. So I did do a video of how I bag up fish like that, doing the individual bagging and using ice packs instead of heat packs. But that's another video I'll have to edit as soon as this hard drive comes. But she did email me saying that everything but one diamond tetra made it alive, and they're all doing great. So one diamond tetra not making it, which I strive to have all the fish make it, but one diamond tetra, I mean that's good. But it could be like stress or the runt of the litter. I'm not sure what happened with that guy, but other than that, pretty good shipping. So I don't know how many I sent, maybe 15-ish, and 14 out of 15 made it. That's good. I'm trying to catch up. At Sherry Fish, the Vienna guppy crossbreed with Endlers or genetic line breed. I don't know if Sherry Fish is running something with Vienna guppies. These Vienna guppies are line bred. Although the males stay pretty small, like Endler small. So I don't know if like somewhere way back when they're crossed with Endlers to keep them small. But these are the ones from Aquarium Co-op. Scrolling, I'm trying to catch up to you guys. Grilled here, somewhat chilly in southern Illinois today, but it's not raining. I know when I went to lunch today, it wasn't raining, but it was supposed to rain today. It's definitely overcast where it's kind of gloomy out there, but um, I'd rather have it gloomy than raining. Uh, I know the dirt in the backyard was moist, so it rained some point, either last night or this morning. Oh, that sucks. So Fish said my favorite tuxedo koi female had two babies and was still huge. She couldn't pass the rest and died. I opened her up and there was two giant babies. I think they blocked the rest and killed her. The rest died. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Zen Ginger says, "What the heck? Saturday stream? Well, hello, squirrely man." Yep, it's because I missed last night's live stream. It was a planned miss. It wasn't like I fell asleep. I knew I wasn't going to make it. Had some outside of YouTube stuff going on with some friends, so I'm making it up today. I'm sure that down the line it was Endlers that came to play, especially that the males are small. Yeah, I'm guessing that they have some Endler in them. But the females are definitely they're getting guppy size. So they're using definitely have Endler. Well, I don't want to say definitely because I don't know, but they seem like they have Endler male genes. But here's that one of the bright orange ones I need to get out of there. Um, all right, where am I at? And then the other thing I've been keeping my eye on is plywood is still extremely expensive. It's not as bad here as it is in like Florida. Let me see what current plywood is costing. Because I heard it like there's some places where it's like $120 plus for a sheet of plywood. Here it's $69 a sheet. And I do have that glass panel. I want to make an outdoor pond using plywood, doing a wood build with the glass panel, but at $70 a sheet plus tax. How many panels would I need? If I did a basic shape or basic size, I mean, I'm guessing 5 panels. Pre-tax $390. That's crazy. When it would have normally cost me like $100 to do that. So that sucks. So hopefully plywood comes down in price. Nobody's giving away plywood on Craigslist anymore. You used to see sheets every week. Yeah, and it's I have a so I was going to do a new shed this year so I can clean out the garage, but it's cheaper for me to get like an all steel building, which that's going to change because steel prices are going up. But a metal building is cheaper than a plywood building, and I like I priced out buying a shed and then like I'll save a bunch of money if I just make it myself. Nope, it's too expensive right now. I have a bunch of 2x4s, probably not enough to build a full shed, but a good amount. But the plywood or OSB to finish it in is crazy. And with like metal, I wanted to do a metal roof. Metal's going up in price. Time to buy steel stocks. The time was months ago. So my uncle owns a steel company. That's how I was able to build stands for Ohio Fish Rescue. Um, and their pricing, even like with my family discount and everything, like it's still extremely expensive. Like pretty much the stands I built for OFR, what was that? Over a year ago. You know, when when was that? Year and a half ago, whenever it was, they're like double in price now. At SC Aquatics have a new subdivision near you. Nope, nope, I don't. There's actually like no new uh, areas around me because I'm, you know, like an old part of town. So like my area, I think this house was built in like the late 50s. I think. To be honest, I forget. I think it's like 58 or something like that. I wish I knew how to weld. Looking into prefab sheds. So shedsandcompany.com is who I was going to use for a wood shed, and they do metal sheds. So they can do metal siding and roofs, which is the way I would want to go, is all metal. It's going to last longer. But sheds and, it's the word and, not like the symbol, company.com. I don't know if they're local to anybody else, but they're here in Ohio. It's an Amish company. I don't know if they do stuff further away, but they do like free delivery. Um, Locations. Okay, never mind. It's an Ohio thing. So that's not going to help anybody else out. But they're an Ohio company. Um, but my friends used them, and I really liked how it all turned out. But I'm pretty sure like even their pricing's gone up. But I really wanted a 10 by like 16 or 10 by 20. But 10 by 20 delivered was like $4,700. It's a big barn. It's a lifted high barn, so it's got loft space. Like it's a good sized shed. Um, but it's just like $4,700. That's a lot of money. But it'd be super awesome. Okay. I almost so you were talking about going and see if you go through the scraps. I almost feel like probably those construction workers are keeping the scraps now. It's like once you realize that your scraps are worth money, they're probably keeping them. So I did the same thing when I worked for BMW. We had this recall where we had to change out the end of an electrical power cable that basically went to the fuse box from the battery. So it was like heavy gauge copper wiring. We had to cut out like 6 inches of the line and put a new end on it. Well, I kept all those connectors. We just threw them away. Well, I kept them all. So I have a whole 5 gallon bucket full of copper, and it's like super pure copper, like high quality copper. I have a 5 gallon bucket of it because one of them as a scrap isn't worth anything. But once you keep all those recalls and they all add up to a 5 gallon bucket of copper, then it was worth some money. And and I still have that. That's from like 8 years ago, but I still have that 5-gallon bucket of copper. I always wanted to get like a little propane forge and melt my own copper like little bars. And that's something I'm still interested in. Maybe one day I'll buy one. But Florida Fisherman says, dude, sell that bucket and get some plywood. And probably buy like one sheet of plywood right now. Shay Fish says, yeah, no more using pallets for firewood. Firewood is gold. Are pallets up in price? So I always was curious about the pricing of pallets because you always see like the wood scrappers is what I call them. So it's like usually like beat up pickup trucks that stack the pallets as high as they can, going around business to business to pick up pallets because businesses just throw them away. I'm like, all right, well if they're driving around all day getting pallets, like they must be worth some money. But yeah, I always just burn them. I actually have some pallets out in the backyard I need to burn. They're pretty worn and like weathered, maybe rotted at this point, so they're not good for anything else other than burning. But tonight would be a good night for a bonfire, so I might do a fire tonight. I haven't done one this year, so it might be tonight. I'll have to see if the wood's all wet or not, and maybe get a fire going. Zen Ginger said to join as a member. Thank you so much for posting the link. A lot of people upcycle the pallets into crafts and such. Yeah, I know my aunt was doing some craft with the pallet, and she came to my work again because we get pallets every single day because through parts. So I just gave her one. We typically just stack them in a pile, and the wood scrappers come and get them. But I originally, when I had an apartment, or a townhome before my house, there was something wrong with the electric, and our electric bill in the townhome was like $400 every single month. So my roommate and I were like, "That's insane." And it had a wood burning fireplace, so instead of like buying like a half a cord of wood, we were burning pallets. And don't burn pallets in your house. But we're like, you know what? We need some heat, so we were burning pallets. And let me tell you, to disassemble a pallet and try to get all the nails out of it and stuff, pain in the butt. So we ended up just using a chainsaw and sawing the pallets into chunks and just putting them in there and then removing the nails later. I do have a 55-gallon steel drum hookup for fire barrels or ash collecting. Steel drums are gold. We get a bunch of plastic drums through work, but most of them come with like chemicals in them, so they're not good for fishy related stuff. There's a couple that I would probably try to use that have like car wash soap. So not like acid wash or anything like that, but like just car wash soap. It would have to be rinsed really, really well. But the drums I use came from a winery, and they were just used to store grape juice or the wine, whatever it was. Okay, I'm finally caught up. I'm trying to think if I have anything to show you guys. Let's go for one more walk, and then we'll probably end the live stream. We'll probably walk outside to the pond if it's not raining, and see if we can see any fish. I do have a UV sterilizer that I got from LFR a couple months ago. It needs bulbs, and I don't know if the power inverters work. But it's got the actual housings. I'm putting my flip-flops on. Slides, whatever you call them. And I kind of want to hook it up to the pond and get the water clear. Because, the pond every year is green water, which I'm totally cool with because it helps the fry grow. But I'm like, yeah, I kind of want like a clear pond. Ooh, we can see the tadpoles. Ready? Flipping around. So right there, I think that's the tadpoles. There was a ton in here the other day. They're sorry for reflection, but so right now, and there's a ton over there, all the black dots. HS pieces, yeah, that's a tadpole. So a ton of them in here. I was hoping the guppies would eat them, but the guppies are not. So I mean, I'm cool with that. But yeah, a ton of them. And right now, I mean, it's pretty cold, so I bet all the fish are down low. But when it's warm out, they'll come up to the surface. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting the UV sterilizer on here and getting the water clear. So we'll see. Shoot. All right. Where'd the chat go? Come here, chat. Chat. Live chat. Okay. Big head, tiny tail. Yep. All right. Cancel. Won't the froglets eat the guppies though? So honestly, I don't think so. So these are definitely like toads, and one like the adult. I mean, they might eat like guppy fry, but the adult guppies are going to be too big, and they're going to swim away. But I mean, typically, I mean they can't. I think they're frog toad. I think they're frog tadpoles because toads can't jump that high. So I haven't seen actual frogs. I think everything I've seen so far is toads. Like the bumpy skin. I mean, granted, maybe they are frogs. I just don't know the difference. I always thought frogs were kind of smooth skin. I did post the short, so watch that short video and tell me if that's a frog or a toad. I think they're toads. Maybe they can't jump out, so maybe they'll be stuck forever. I don't know. If that's the case, I mean, I could put like a little ramp in there. Zen said Charlotte. Yep, she's in the window right now. Florida Fish Rescue said, I have a monster UV sterilizer for the ponds and it's useless. Plants have been the best answer. Well, I might just need to put some plants in there. I did waterless last year, but it never really took off in my pond. Those are definitely tadpoles. $3.75 IBC totes for filtration, but they are harder to come by for cheap. I think $3.75 IBC totes were like $50 to $75 here when I checked like a year ago. I don't know if they're still that price. Let's get over to their dogs. IHSP, you mail them to me, I'll pay shipping. I don't know who you're talking to. Charlotte's all up in the phone. So pothos is something I thought about trying to put in that pond because I thought it'd be kind of cool to get the pothos to grow around like the rim of the pool. She's like right in front of my phone, aren't you? Oh, she's laying down. Nope, she's not laying down. What are you doing? You can't hear me. Cut slice off the side of the barrel, screw the hinges and latches, stack 2 on a rack. Ta-da, tanks with lids. It's a good idea. Anyways, guys, we are at the hour mark. I think I might try to go to the store and get something to grill. The brown puppy is awesome. He looks like a girlfriend who wasn't ready to be on the live stream but isn't moving. Yeah, she's being lazy. It's my pity. Havana, do you want Havana? Do you want a... So she knows. She's like, oh, you're waking me up. And the other one's in the window. But anyways, all right, guys. I need to get her a treat now. Because that's why I was hinting at her. Havana, do you want a treat? Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Saturday. Oh, now she's interested too. So we're going to hop off here and get a treat. So, I will see you guys on Friday. And hopefully I'll get some videos out this coming week as soon as that hard drive comes. Florida Fish Room, I'll see you guys later. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Check out 614fish.com and try out the 614 tabs, the root tabs for your root feeding plants. They are doing really well. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you later. Say it. Say treat. 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 Do you want a treat?